In this video, we'll discuss how to integrate Timeflow with Unity Timeline. This is an optional feature that allows Timeflow to unify its timing with Timeline. This is only needed if you wish to use both systems and have them synchronized. Otherwise, you may still use Timeflow in any scene without any additional setup. To get started, we first need to import the Timeline integration package by double-clicking it in the project view in the Timeflow add-ons directory. Once imported, this includes some sample scenes to demonstrate the setup. However, for this video, we'll create a new scene to go through the setup from scratch. First, let's create a new scene using the basic built-in template. At this point, it's helpful to make sure both the Timeflow and Timeline views are visible. Pause the video here if you need a moment to get that set up. Next, we'll need to add Timeflow to the current scene. And then, with the Timeflow object selected, we'll click the Create button in the Timeline view and save the Timeline asset. We can then drag and drop the Timeflow object from the Hierarchy view into the Timeline view. This displays a context menu from which we'll select Add Timeflow Control Track. This adds the Timeflow track to the view, as well as creating the Timeflow control clip matching the duration of the Timeflow instance. Note that if at any time you change the Timeflow duration, you may reset the track in the Timeline view by right-clicking it and selecting Match Content, or using the keyboard shortcut C. Now that Timeflow has been added to Timeline, you'll notice that playing or moving the time in either view affects the other. And if we go into the Timeflow settings, we'll see that Sync Unity Timeline is enabled and the playable director is assigned and added to the object. This process may be repeated with any number of Timeflow and Timeline instances. To see an example, we can open the scene Multiple Timeflows. In this setup, a single timeline director is used to sequence two Timeflow instances. You'll notice that clips are used to control the playback of each Timeflow, only playing back during each clip section. Each clip section also has additional settings viewed in the inspector. By default, it is set to auto start time, which means the start time of the clip is synchronized at the same time in Timeflow. However, we may turn this option off to specify a specific start time. This could be used, for example, to have a clip start at a specific marker or event time. And then no matter where the clip starts in Timeline, it always starts at the specified time within Timeflow. These features make it possible to not only synchronize Timeflow, but to also use Timeline to sequence Timeflow animations. Note, however, that clip blending is not permitted and each clip is either on or off. Whenever the current time is outside of a clip section, the corresponding Timeflow instances no longer updates and is passive. That concludes this video on the Timeline integration. Please see the links in the video description below for further information. Up next, we'll go over rendering to disk.